searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, because eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scheananigans. It is a Scheana Spills solo episode today. We had the reunion. I had my birthday last week, Mother's Day. It's been a quite eventful week. Brock had organized a surprise birthday party for me. I'll get into some more of those details, and was just in Palm Springs with Lala and her mom and mine and Brock's mom. It was her last weekend here. I'm so sad she went back to Australia. But yeah, you guys sent in so many questions. I think I have more cue cards in front of me than I've ever had. So we're going to get through as many of these as my voice will allow, because as you can tell, it's a little hoarse. Okay, let's get right into it. I've seen so many people online ask, what happened to VPR in your bio and what's going on? So to be honest, my sister does all of my links and that stuff on Instagram for me. I didn't even notice that it was taken out of my bio until everyone else did. I think maybe when she put the Sweet and Sour song in, she took out VPR because there were too many things in my bio. Also, for 11 years, I've never had anything VPR in my bio until we were nominated for an Emmy. James Kennedy and I were together the day we found out, and we're like, who could put it in their bio faster? What emoji should we use? And we both put it in our bio. And then, you know, lo and behold, we didn't win the Emmy. And I don't know, VPR, what was it? Emmy nominated VPR was in my bio for, I think, just around the Emmy time. And then my sister took it out. So literally no other rhyme or reason, nothing else going on there. It just, too many things in the bio just make it a little too cluttered looking, and, you know, I'm OCD, so I guess she just wanted to keep it clean. Do you wish you guys had been able to break the fourth wall more? Are there any moments from past seasons where you wish that had happened? Yes, honestly, I think that is so interesting when you're watching a reality show and they talk about the show on the show. They do this on Kardashians. They do this on the D'Amelio show. And I just think that makes the reality even more real, because there are things that happen in press, on Watch What Happens Live, at the reunion last year. There are things that you want to address where you have to say like, oh, well, the last time we were in New York together, I noticed they were doing that on the first episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we used to do that all of the time on the show. Sometimes you just want to be like, look, at the reunion last year. But you have to say like, well, the last time we all got together. And it's just easier, and I think it makes sense if you just say, well, you said this on Watch What Happens Live, not I heard you said. And so I do hope moving forward with the way our season ended that we're able to have more moments like that, because I think it just adds to our reality. And there have been so many things in the past. I can't even think off the top of my head, but yeah, many moments where I wish we could just talk about the show on the show. But I also understand why they don't like to do that. And I think it's only really meant for important moments. So, you know, hopefully there is a season 12 and maybe we see a little more of that. How are you feeling after Reunion 1 aired? Well, I have not looked on anything said on social media. I felt like watching the episode, it was a pretty good one. I think the next two are going to be definitely more dramatic from what I remember. I feel like I tend to emotionally black out after reunion days. And I'm like, wait, what happened? What did we say? And then we have to watch it back. But that's the beauty of reality TV, is you got to watch back your life. The good, the bad, the cringe, all of it. Is there anything you wish we got to see this season but didn't? There are a few things, but there's also a Secrets Revealed episode that is going to air, I believe, only on Peacock after the third part of the reunion the following week. So you'll see some new interview bites. We did some doubles there, which is really fun. And you'll see some scenes that didn't make it in. One of them is my sister's birthday and Valley Brat launch party. So that was a really fun day. Almost the entire cast was there. Katie and Tori were there, and I'm excited to see that. I haven't seen it yet, but I know that that's one of the scenes that we should be seeing. Stay tuned. Anything you wish you said at the reunion that you didn't get a chance to say? I haven't seen the last 2 episodes of the reunion yet, so I'm not sure what all will be included. You'll have to ask me again in 2 weeks. What are you planning to do on the VPR break? Reflect, grow, learn. I'm going to be working on a dream project of mine this summer. So I'm very, very excited about having time to do that and not figuring out how I'm going to juggle that with filming 5 days a week. I'm going to get to enjoy a summer off for the first time in like 12 years and the first time as a mom. So I'm really looking forward to having some downtime, focusing on some other projects. Summer starts preschool. And yeah, it'll just be nice to finish getting stuff done in our house. We're almost fully furnished, not completely yet. We still got some tweaks and add some little accent pieces, need some artwork in the living room. But I'm just excited to have time with the family and in the new house. And as crazy as it sounds, being in the desert in the summer, I love being in Palm Springs. Even if it is 120 degrees outside, there's just something about my house. It's so peaceful. And now that we have Lala next door, I mean, we have both of our houses close to each other, but we'll definitely be out there a bunch this summer. How do we feel about the next season being on hold? I think this break is needed. Honestly, I think it is the smartest decision to not jump right back in to another season like we did after Scandival. I don't think enough time had passed. And I feel like if we gave it a little more time to breathe, things would have been a lot different. But I don't know, maybe we needed to jump back in as soon as possible to capture what was still happening. But for right now, after that reunion and how dramatic the season ended, and as you guys know, we all watched the last part of the finale together in front of each other for the first time, which was extremely emotional. I feel like all of us need a little bit of an emotional break, some from each other, some from the cameras. You know, I need a couple more EMDR sessions before I go back into another season. But I think giving us some time off to let some news story build up, you know, follow some of the projects that we've been working on. And yeah, I think it is very needed. And I think it'll be good in the end. I didn't know how I felt about it in the beginning, but the more I've sat with it, I'm like, yeah, this is the right decision. What did you make of Ariana voting no, it's done on that IG fan poll asking, do you think there will be a season 12 of VPR? Well, as her friend, I fully support her pursuing her dreams. I always have. I've said that multiple times. It's like if VPR and reality TV no longer serve her, then, you know, on to the next thing. She's going back to Broadway. She's doing Love Island. She has so many amazing things lined up. I don't even know what else is in the pipeline for her, but I'm sure many more amazing things. So if it's time to move on, it's like I completely get it. As her coworker, if this is true, I mean, it's kind of frustrating that she would advocate for the end of a work project that, you know, is a big part of my business and what, you know, Lala and I as moms do to support our families. So that's what's tricky too with this show is our life is our job and our job is our life. And as a friend, I understand and respect boundaries. As your coworker, there can be moments where it's frustrating. So that's how I feel about that. What are your hopes for season 12? Well, I hope that we have one. First of all, the finale did feel very series ending, but I think it also opens up the door for a new beginning. I think there are still so many stories to be told among this group, and maybe with ending the season with the fourth wall breaking down, maybe that opens up the door to more of that for hopefully season 12. I think we have a really interesting story to tell moving forward. And I think there's going to be a lot left to tell. So stay tuned. We're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to make some more tea and I'll be back to spill some more. All right, y'all, say hello to your IRL makeup filter in a bottle. That's right. I am talking to you again about the new Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, which is a skincare makeup hybrid that makes your skin look plump, refreshed, and get this, more youthful. It's developed using microdroplet technology. So this is a refreshing formula that provides an instant burst of hydration for up to 24 hours. For me, who is back and forth in the desert all of the time, especially in the summer, this is the best thing for my skin, for coverage, for hydration. It just makes me look and feel so good. The pigmented capsules in this, so they burst and blend and they give you a sheer yet even tint, and it reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. At my age, pushing 40, I know that's not old, but I am starting to get those smile lines, and this foundation doesn't highlight those. It is amazing that this is a formula that you can get at a drugstore, and you're not going to get it from any other drugstore brand. Like, you could compare this to a $70 brand. It's a bare skin filter effect, basically the Paris filter in real life. So you just blend the formula with either your favorite dense brush, or I like to use a beauty blender. You activate the tinted microdroplets directly on your face and just start with a small amount, and then you can add additional product for your desired coverage level. Glowing and radiant looking skin is only a pump away. The adaptable shades can be worn alone or as a primer under your favorite foundation. After 2 weeks of use, it improves your complexion's radiance, skin texture, suppleness, and firmness. Only from Easy, Breezy, Beautiful Covergirl. And now that we know what we're wearing on our skin, what are we cleansing our skin with? Because if you ask me, I am using Dime Beauty. Spring is the perfect time to revamp your skincare routine. So it's like, why not jumpstart that with some amazing deals on some of my favorite products? Right now, Dime Beauty has their Spring into Savings sale with 25% off site-wide. You've heard me talking about their work system, so if you haven't gotten it already, this is a great time to stock up on your favorites or try something new. So here's what I love about Dime. Dime Beauty is clean. It's a high-end skincare that is affordable, and yes, it really works. And Dime didn't sacrifice performance just to make it clean either. So I wanted to take the guesswork out of my routine, which is why I started with their Works collection and have gotten Brock onto it as well. I don't have time to figure out all of the steps on a new skincare routine. And that's why the Work system is great, because it's everything you need in one powerful package that includes a gentle cleanser, a toner, 2 incredible serums, and 2 luxurious moisturizers. It is something I use every night before bed. And during the day. You guys know I love anything with sunscreen. They have this tinted glow wonder screen with SPF 30. They have new shades and it is amazing. It's glowy. It's not greasy. So if you haven't already, go to dimebeautyco.com now and get 25% off site-wide with their Spring into Savings sale. Stock up on your favorites or try something new, but hurry because the sale ends on Monday. So go to dimebeautyco.com, dimebeautyco.com for 25% off site-wide until Monday. And we're back. How do you feel about Ariana not watching the season? Look, I get that it can be difficult to watch back sometimes. And I am a person who season 6 did not want to watch back that relationship. And that relationship with Rob doesn't even compare to her relationship with Sandoval. So I understand. She was busy. She was working. She was living in her happy bubble in New York, doing Chicago, and probably didn't want to let anything get into her orbit, burst her bubble. I did the same thing when I was doing my show in Las Vegas and I was performing every night on stage. I didn't want any of that going into me going on stage. So I get not wanting to disturb your peace. It's like she was literally living her dream at the moment that the show was airing. But with that being said, she wasn't watching the season, but she was keeping up on social media. And that's the thing that's hard for me because she's seen clips, and I know this does get addressed later in the reunion. I don't know what will air. I just remember speaking about it. But she was basing her perception off of fan clips and commentary. Like, I know she even said on Watch What Happens Live that one of the things that hurt her the most was seeing the backup dancer comment I made. And in context, that was honestly never meant to be shady. It was a cheeky comment where I'm actually like making fun of myself. I mean, I am not Beyonce, okay? It was a joke, but for her to say that really hurt her. I'm like, damn, girl, like I didn't mean it in that way. But if you did watch the whole season and Andy asked her, did you see the conversation Scheana had with Sandoval? I felt like that conversation, I was having her back. I was advocating for her and her mental health and the things that he had done that were wrong outside of the affair. She never even watched that. She says that, you know, she lived the show, so she didn't need to watch it back. But there were all of the moments that she wasn't there for that I do wish she watched back because I think she would have a bigger picture of how I was being a good friend to her. So for her and Katie to say that they felt like I was a better friend to Sandoval this season, I definitely don't think I was a better friend to Sandoval. I don't think I was a good friend to Sandoval at all. Did I treat him like a human? Sure. So moving on from that, on to my husband. Were you genuinely surprised at your birthday, or did you have an idea something was happening? You must have seen all your friends' locations in one spot and knew something was up. I did not check Find My. It's funny. I don't know when it changed from Find My Friends to just Find My. But no, believe it or not, I'm not just looking at that app every day to see where people are. So I did not check it at all. If you saw my vlog this week, you saw adorable little Summer Moon come down in her dress and say, "Mommy, I'm going to your birthday party now." And I'm like, oh, birthday party? I thought I was just going to a little dinner. So I did think that the fam would be there, as how can you tell, you know, a 3-year-old not to blow the surprise? So I knew there was something coming, but I was genuinely surprised to see how many people came. The house it was at, I mean, I thought I was just going to a private dinner in the hills. And obviously when Summer came down in her dress, I assumed she would be there with my family. But I had no idea there was going to be a DJ, multi-levels, indoor, outdoor, all of my favorite people. Well, most of, some weren't able to come. But yes, I was surprised. I later actually found out that Brock had been planning this for like the past month. So when we were at Coachella with our Smirnoff family, the theme of the event was surprise, you know, like Smirnoff Ice, surprise, out in the desert. So that is the campaign that they're currently doing throughout the summer. Smirnoff Ice, surprise. So I don't know if you've seen maybe Trevor Noah commercials around that. But anyways, I guess Brock mentioned when we were at Coachella that my birthday was coming up, and Smirnoff came up with this plan to surprise me. And it was the nicest birthday party I've ever had. Literally so many of my favorite people. The taco bar, a screening area set up downstairs. It was like a little private area to watch the season finale. A massive cake, which also you see in my vlog this week when I was trying to get her to say how she got me a unicorn cake in the morning. She was like, no, there was the drink. And I'm like, a drink? I'm like, oh, another surprise. There must be another massive cake here. And there was, with the giant Smirnoff Ice on it. My dream cake. There's unicorns and then there's Smirnoff Ice, tiered, layered cake. It was incredible. And it was carrot cake, mind you, which is my favorite. So loved that. They had 2 cute bar setups. They had specialty cocktails. Let me tell y'all, all of these drinks were so good. They had a spicy tamarita. It's made with the Smirnoff spicy tamarind vodka, which I'm obsessed with, and I will drink that just by itself as well. It was literally just a perfect night. I could not have asked for a better birthday celebration. And we ended the night at Brittany's bar in the Valley. I had the best night. And I just have to give a huge shout out to all of my Smirnoff fam for throwing that together, surprising me, and just making me feel so loved. And again, did not check anyone's locations, I swear. But also, you may have seen in my vlog that Kyle Cook was another who ruined the surprise. He covered it up very well. Maybe I'll even post a screenshot in this vlog on the podcast blog of the text. But Kyle was like, Amanda and I have this thing all day, but we're going to try to make it to your party after. And I go, my party? Question mark. He was like, doesn't respond for a minute. He goes, no. Sorry. I mean, our party. We're doing our event Wednesday. No, not tomorrow. Like, da-da-da. And I'm like, nice cover up. But he did have a good cover up, but he also kind of blew it. But it's okay. It was a great night, and Kyle came, and that was a surprise also because I thought he was working. And yeah. Has yours and Brock's relationship gotten any stronger since the show? I definitely think so. And watching that all back, I really feel like we are stronger than ever. How do you feel about Brock's stellar dance moves going viral? I'm obsessed. Literally, we watched this and I'm like, what are you doing? Someone stitched it together with Hotel Transylvania and the way that they do the Macarena, and it was freaking hilarious. Is Summer Moon's half-sister really named Winter Sky? No, I think someone online made that up. It's been circulating. That is not her middle name. It's not for me to say what her middle name is, but it's absolutely not Sky or anything close to that or seasonal. Can you explain the scene that never aired with you and Brock about not being together forever? I think you got to see a little more of that in the reunion this week. It was more in relation to my OCD and intrusive thoughts and just the ideations of, you know, the fear around one of us dying and just not being around forever, not growing old together. So I meant it in that way. But obviously when you see a little clip like that, it was like, interesting. What's going on? Trouble in paradise? There were two surprising moments between Katie and Brock during the reunion. The first being Katie having to eat her words and apologizing to Brock for past comments about him and saying how she thinks he's a great dad. And the second, when Brock stuck up for Katie and made the comment to Schwartz about how he had whittled down her confidence during their marriage. What do you think about that? Were you surprised to see those interactions? I think those moments showed a lot of growth on both of their parts, and I absolutely love to see that. I felt like, too, Katie being so genuine at the beginning of the reunion with Brock disarmed him from maybe any past anger he still had, that when it's the reunion, you know, anything you want to say, you get it out that day. And so I really loved that they had that moment early on because you could see genuine emotion in her eyes. And I just really appreciated that because I knew it was genuine. Why do you think Katie spoke one way about Ariana off camera versus on camera? Do you think it was because she wanted to protect Ariana's feelings, or was she worried about the backlash from the fans if she said anything critical about Ariana? I don't necessarily think it's either. I think it was and has been a business decision for them to remain a united front. They've made a lot of money on something about her. So I get, not wanting to affect their business, and I fully support that. I know Lala said at the reunion she felt that Katie was being fake by acting one way on camera and different behind the scenes. But I think Katie was probably prioritizing her brand as she was making, probably more from that than from the show. So as a friend, I understand and respect the business decision. But, again, as a coworker, it's frustrating when you're not living your truth. So I get it. But it's like we all show up and do the uncomfortable stuff. And when others aren't, it is frustrating. And if you do act differently on and off camera, you're probably going to get called out for it. So you should be prepared. If you say something on a phone call, just like Brock said something to Lala in private season 9, just because it's off camera doesn't mean it's not going to get brought up on camera. So being authentic always is the only way to be on reality TV, honestly. Okay, so we're going to take one more break and I'll be right back. All right, warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto. They've got it all. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you're always going to have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. I had this Santa Fe shredded chicken and queso recently that was to die for. They have 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week. So you'll always have new flavors to explore, or you can keep getting some of your favorites. The jalapeno lime chicken has been in almost every one of my packages because Brock and I will fight over that meal every week. It is so good. Summer loves the smoothies. Her and I will share smoothies together in the morning. I mean, it's something for every day, every night. Just make your day delicious. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. You can choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/goodasgold50 and use code goodasgold50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code goodasgold50 at factormeals.com/goodasgold50. And if you are like me, you suffer from allergies. I have my whole life, and this year is no different. So one thing I'm keeping in my cabinet, I'm keeping in my purse, I'm keeping in my Palm Springs home is Astepro. Astepro is a first of its kind nasal allergy spray. It's the fastest 24-hour over-the-counter allergy spray. It starts working in 30 minutes while other allergy sprays can take hours. When Brock started having a sneezing attack recently in Palm Springs, he's like, oh my God, I'm 33. How do I have allergies? And I'm like, well, I don't know. But if you do, try my Astepro. And boom, he was feeling better almost instantly. Astepro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free allergy spray, and it delivers full prescription strength indoor and outdoor allergy relief from nasal congestion, runny and itchy noses, and sneezing. So anytime I am having nasal allergies flare up, I'm always amazed at how fast I'm back in the game, breathing clearly and just feeling better because no one likes being sneezy, the itchy nose, the runny. Gosh, it drives me insane. So get fast-acting nasal allergy symptom relief with Astepro. Go to asteproallergy.com for a discount so you can Astepro and go today. ASTEPRO allergy.com. It's faster, bro. Astepro and go. Use as directed for relief of nasal congestion, runny nose, sneezing, and itchy nose due to allergies. Okay, we're back. So, in hindsight, do you see Lala's hypocrisy when it comes to her critique of Ariana's boundary needs, like Randall? I think it's different situations. Honestly, Lala and Randall weren't coworkers. If Randall had been on the show, I think it would be a different story. How do you feel about Lala saying you were living in the comments section? I think it's more the concept that I let public perception get to me, as I really don't spend a lot of time in the comments section. I read the first 20 to 30, as those are usually people I follow and friends, and then I'll see the next couple. But once there's a negative one, I'm like, okay, let's put this away. So it's like if I did fully live in the comment section, it would not be good for my mental health. And I mean, of course I care when people are mad at me. I'm a people pleaser, as we know, but I'm also working on that. Do you agree with LVP that a Lala and Schwartz coupling would be a beautiful thing? No. Do you agree with Lala that Ariana got cheated on and then made it her whole personality? No, I don't agree with that either. If anyone has made it their personality, that would be more fitting of the other woman involved. Yeah. What do you think happened in NYC with Jax, Tom, and Victoria after Watch What Happens Live? Don't know, don't care. Why aren't you and Sandoval talking much now? I mean, Sandoval and I haven't talked much in over a year, since pre-Sandoval, so nothing really has changed. Tom said in a recent interview that he's not getting a redemption arc, but a rehumanizing. Do you agree? I mean, whatever it is, I think he probably blew it. And even just watching him on Watch What Happens Live this season, it's like, yeah, you really haven't changed, buddy. You know, I did try to do what Scheana always does and see the tiny bit of good still left and the soul still there. But yeah, you know, whatever. If Tom told LVP that he was suicidal, why was he still filming? Did she get him help? That is a great question. You'll have to ask her that. From what I know, if he was feeling that way during filming, he would have to be in therapy and like talking to a psychiatrist regularly. But yeah, I don't know too much else about that. Now that the dust has settled, do you think Tom made you look dumb? Do you regret it? I wouldn't give him that much power, TBH. If you think I looked dumb, it was my own doing. I don't regret any of my actions. I don't regret trying to still see some good in someone who had been a very good friend to me for many years. Leading up to filming the show from the beginning, Tom and I were very close. We were close for the first few seasons. Season 3, I felt like, was it 2 or 3? Whenever Miami Girl and the whole that came around, I did feel like I was seeing a different side of him, the side that we all saw last year. I didn't think he was good for Ariana. I voiced my concerns to her mom. I stand by all of those things that I said back then. But when Ariana convinced me that he was a good person, he didn't do this, and I needed to get off this or I was going to lose her as a friend, I immediately just got over it. I made him my best friend again, and we built such an insanely strong bond from season 2 or 3, whenever that was, up until Scandival. Although we were not speaking a ton leading up to all of this stuff, I think he knew what he was doing. And that's why he started distancing himself from me. That's why Raquel started distancing herself from me, because they knew they were being shady for 7 months. So Tom and I not speaking that much right now is no different than the 7 months leading up to Scandival. But it's like also with Tom, I've had conversations with him on and off camera, and I've tried to get through to him to snap him out of this downward spiral to start showing some empathy and deference towards Ariana. But it's been over a year now and he hasn't really been able to do that. It's like, regardless of who this man was in the past, I do have to accept the reality that that is not who he is now. It's been a hard pill for me to swallow and to watch back. But I think part of me maybe hoped that he had temporarily lost his mind and could be just shaken back to reality. I hoped that he could be genuinely remorseful, but I don't think he is. I felt like there were moments of it where, you know, the mask came down and I saw that Tom, and then he's just gone again. And then he says dumb shit that he tried to defend on Watch What Happens Live. I was like, well, no, I was saying it was good for me. Like, I did my job. And it's like, no, that's not how you meant. And that right there, it's like, Tom, right when you're starting to take a few steps forward, you just like fully bury yourself again. I don't get it. But I guess I do. Do you see how much Sandoval manipulated you in the finale with that final scene? Can't you see through Tom's narcissism? Bringing his sound guy was not for you. It was a performative act to make him look like a good person. The man has repeatedly lied to you, put you in legal peril, and he takes cheap shots at you by bringing up the Eddie thing. When are you going to wake up and realize this man doesn't care about you? Wow, that's a loaded question. Look, a lot of things happened this last year that have changed my perspectives on various people and relationships in my life. Tom and I were friends, as I just said, for so many years. And years before VPR. And it's like viewers have only seen a small fragment of that friendship on the show Same can be said for all of my castmates. Tom and I are always going to be tied together through this show and our long history, but we're never going to have a friendship like we had before. It's impossible to go back when so much has been broken. Like, not just the friendship broken, but the trust shattered. I mean, and I haven't really necessarily seen the growth in him that would merit my energy being fully put back into rekindling a full friendship with him. So I'm not going to try and build that back up if I'm not seeing that from him. Following you these last years on the show, listening to the podcast and vlogs, it really felt like you had finally found your voice in this group once you had cut ties with Tom Sandoval. Now that he's back in the picture, you seem to have lost it. How can we help get that voice back? Look, I'm working on it, okay? As hard as it is to watch back sometimes, one of the benefits of reality show life is the added perspective that comes with it. So in due time, I am doing my best. I really genuinely am. I'm trying. How are you? How is your mental health with all of the online hate BS? It's actually pretty good, pretty solid, I would say, considering everything. I think it helps staying off Twitter, X, whatever we want to call it these days, and not really looking at comments past that top 20 to 30 on Instagram, because I do tend to hold on to that one negative one. There could be 100 positive and then one person says something and that sticks in my head. And by just not looking at that, it allows me to focus more on the positive, because those are the people I want to put my energy into. So yeah. Is your postpartum OCD better? I just had my first baby and 5 losses and have it too. Any helpful tips? Oh my God, I can't even imagine. God bless you. I will keep you in my prayers tonight. That breaks my heart. Mine's definitely better. Just going through 1 loss, God, I can't imagine 5. I feel like the supplements I'm on and the therapy I've been doing really help the intrusive thoughts, but they're still there. Like every day when I walk with my daughter and I'm holding her and we're upstairs in my house, I just picture her like going off the railings, and it freaks me out like every day. But I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. And I'm able to knock it out a lot quicker. I know I'm emotional right now, but it has gotten a lot better, where it's just like, that's the one thing daily at my house that I picture. But outside of that, I feel like I'm so much more comfortable doing things alone with her. I enjoy having our mother-daughter time more now than I ever have. But there are always going to be those thoughts in the back of my head. It's never going to fully go away. And just, focusing on the positives, reminding myself these intrusive thoughts are not real. That's what gets me through. But it is a daily struggle. But despite my emotion right now, it is really a lot better than it was a year ago. And I know a year from now, it'll be even better. But it's never going to be completely gone. But it's better. I promise. I think you were misunderstood a lot of the time, but you seem to cope with it so well. Advice? Write some music. Put your energy into things that make you happy. I actually have another song I'm working on right now for when the EP comes out about being misunderstood. And I think just surrounding yourself with people who do understand you is the best medicine, honestly. What types of therapy have you done to help with your intrusive thoughts? EMDR. I stand by that shit. It is amazing. I've done Reiki in the past, but for the intrusive thoughts, my EMDR, I think, has been the best things, because that really focuses on past traumas, and it takes things in your brain and it's able to reprocess them. It rewires your brain so that you're not seeing it the same way and it's not affecting you the same way. If Raquel tried to reach out to you now, would you respond? If so, what would you say? Ooh, I don't think I'm ever going to hear from that girl. So I don't know what I would say, honestly. Do you think that Raquel was groomed by Sandoval? I mean, that part of their dynamic was nowhere near me, so I wouldn't be able to answer that. Do you think Janet should have invited Zach and Kristen to her baby moon? No. But also, Janet will be back with us next week, and we're going to get into more of that because I have seen some comments also of people saying it was hypocritical for me to support Janet not wanting to be around Kristen or Zach and Ariana and Tom, and like completely different situations. I feel like we're going to save this for the podcast next week because I do have a lot of thoughts about this, but I would like Janet to be here with me so we can ping pong off each other. Gonna wrap it up here. You've said before you're friends with Marciano from Vanderpump Villa. Are you friends with Hannah? So I actually just met Hannah the day they filmed their reunion. Marciano and Hannah came over to our house. We had a little hot tub, cold plunge sesh, ordered some pizza, and I got to know her. And really sweet girl. I have not seen the show. I just want to preface by saying that I know Marciano from life. He's friends with my husband and my husband's friends. So I just know him as Marciano from Vegas. I don't know him from the show. I do know, though, that when I was with him in Vegas last weekend, people come up to him and tell him he's a douchebag to his face. I was shocked. I could not believe that people actually, I was like, wait, they say that to you to your face? And he goes, yeah, it happens all the time. It was like, hey, Scheana, can I get a photo with you? I don't want you in it. You're a douchebag. And I was like, wow. But then it was so funny. The same woman who called him a douchebag ran into us later at a bar at the hotel and apologized and said that she was out of line for calling him a douchebag. And I appreciated that because I was like, damn. So for the last 8 hours since she saw us and called him a douchebag, she must have been reflecting like, maybe I shouldn't have said that to his face. But again, I asked him, well, do you act like a douchebag on the show? Maybe it's warranted. Thanks for listening and watching, guys. Bye.
I've been searching for this all my life.